Well, the preparatory section, not surprisingly, occurs at the beginning. It prepares the scene. And the preparatory section can be as bare as Once Upon a Time, or it can be more elaborate. So one of the first things we'll look at in a subsequent slide is the pieces of the preparatory section. This is the first large class my department ever had. 5 years ago, we had nothing comparable. Our largest class might have been 30, 40, 50 people. This one has 320 enrolled. The first function of the donor, the hero's response to that function, and then the reward or non-reward afterwards. What Propp calls the first function of the donor is a test that the donor makes of the hero. As it grew over the semesters, we became uncomfortable with teaching it entirely as a lecture course. And as a result, a couple of years ago, I added a recitation section. To form yourselves into groups of 3, except for one group of 4. And I want you to look at the tale that you read for today, The Crystal Mountain.
Well, that would be the Once Upon a Time, actually.
Sure. You can also have multiple moves. So you have one move with its villainy, and the hero departs, and he fixes the villainy, and he liquidates it, and he comes home. The students meet with us in one of 14 small groups, recitation groups, which gives them an opportunity to interact with us more than would be possible in a lecture. About how, for example, the consent to counteraction is represented in this tale or something like that. And the point of this is just for you to highlight for yourselves what the functions look like and how you recognize them. You don't have to worry about the subtypes. I mean, the beta 3 is fine, but if you just find beta, that's okay too. Okay. We try to use the lectures to give the students information that we have that they don't, and basically give them the information that they can then use to participate on their own and participate creatively in the recitations. The hero might finally catch up with the villain. And when the hero catches up with the villain, you come to the struggle and victory. Now, there's no struggle and victory in the Magic Swan Geese, or if there is, it's a really teeny tiny, subtle one. We use our recitations differently than is the case in a lot of other courses. So not as a review, not just as question and answer, but really as small seminar meetings that are coordinated with the lecture sessions. The recitation sections are designed around student participation. But what does beta signify in the preparatory section?
When the hero leads to do the adventure, you're like taking the step towards maturity.
Okay, it's the step toward maturity. What this does, okay, it could be kidnapping or it could be stealing an object. How about lack? How is I mean, lack doesn't necessarily imply stealing, but Marissa?
It just means that he doesn't have something that he wants or that he needs.
Such as?
Such as a bride.
Yeah, such as a bride. Because so many of these tales end in weddings, a lot of them just have a lack of a bride. And what they're supposed to be doing is engaging in the sort of active learning opportunities that we just haven't been able to implement very effectively in a room of 320 people. In this course, there are really, well, at least 2 sets of challenges. The first has been to make it possible for students to participate actively in the course. Okay, he can get there on his own power. Maybe he gets there with the help of a magic agent, Joe.
It's also where the fortune is that he's going to find.
The second set of problems in teaching a course like this, for me at least, was the diversity of the students. Designing a course so that it can be accessible to those with no prior experience, but still interesting to those with a lot of prior experience has been particularly challenging. Getting whatever you need to be successful and live happily ever after.